I went live a little bit early. Sorry, everybody. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm about to go live here. Says the YouTube link's not working.
Hmm?
For me, it's not opening the YouTube.
Um,
Might want to check that.
Crazy. Let me get the right one then. I'll
Yeah,
repost it. This is the correct link. Let
maybe
me,
put it down there. Yeah, there you
let me delete this one. If you want to retweet it. Uh, okay. Um, Here, I'll send you the link. There. My bad.
go. No worries. All right, let me share my screen. All right, guys. So many of you guys that joined, and some of kind of use it as a refresher. So I do use Keltner channels to determine the key levels, right, of the trading across different indices, whether it's futures, SPY, Qs, and then any ticker that I found. Usually, Keltner channels. When I run my scans for stocks, I search for monthly bottoms and quarterly bottoms. And what that means is that usually, if you think about Bollinger Bands, right, they use standard deviation. Keltner channels just use average true range. So they use ATR. Mine are slightly different than the normal ones, as they have a little bit of logic built in for them, like closing the doors, the clouds, and then also the levels seem to be a little bit different than the regular Keltner channels, right? So it's proprietary, and I do not share this. There's only a handful of people that might have this, so I do not share this. And you guys have the same one. When you join the Discord, you have these in Trading View, but you do not have the TOS version of it. So now let's talk about Keltner channels. So the ones that I care about is mainly the 4 hours, which is your intraday cloud. So if I click on this, you guys will see the aggregation period, and these are at 4 hours. And I mark these levels. The way I look at the clouds, there's the top cloud is here, which is this one right here. Let's see. Let's see. So this one here. Let's see. Okay, maybe not. So this is the top cloud right here, and inside of the cloud, we call that 1.5. The outside's 2.5, and just the range of the cloud itself, right? That's the spread in the cloud. Then you have something called the midline of the 4 hours. So when I say it's hitting the 4 hour mid, that means something like this. It's a 4 hour midline is right here, and these levels are pretty well respected, right? So, and there's only a handful of plays, 4 plays to be exact, that I care about when I'm trading or looking to trade clouds. Mainly what I use the clouds for is for the levels, right? The levels seem to be really, really accurate on the clouds. So I usually mark these levels where I can expect, like in this instance, I would expect a rejection somewhere around 37.23. If we can go back inside this cloud, 37.42, meaning go somewhere here and come back, that would be a bullish play. That means it's most likely going to go to this 4 hour mid. And this is where I would be looking to buy it. Just here, and this is called what, Drew?
That's a bullish money shot.
Correct. So this would be the bullish money shot. Once you get out of the cloud, as we did here, you dropped out of the cloud here, you stayed the whole time below the cloud. If you're able to get enough force to get back inside the cloud, you buy here. You don't necessarily buy anywhere else. You wait for the retest here, and the stop loss become right below the clouds. Or you can use the inside line that we have, which is the 1.6 line here between the clouds. So that's the 4 hour cloud. Don't confuse the 4 hour degradation period of the cloud with the time frame. I can look at this 4 hour cloud on any time frame that's less than 4 hours. If I go on daily, this cloud's gone. And does that make sense? Why would it be gone? I'm looking the time frame to be higher than a cloud, and that's a no-no. You can't do that. So you have to look at the 4 hours max on the 4 hour cloud. So here I can go on, 1 hour would look pretty. If you look at 1 hour and you see when the cloud is closed, when I say cloud is closed, does everybody understand what that means?
It would be harder for price to move through it.
Yeah, it's almost impossible for price to break it once the cloud's not, once it's closed, it's really impossible to break it. And how do we know that, right? Well, just take a look at this. I don't have arrows here, but take a look at this. Cloud was closed. And look right here. Yeah, this is easy money for me because I know that there's no chance or really, really low probability that, it's going to cloud once it's closed. And usually when it bounces from here, it's going to go to the midline, and that's where you look to buy. And your stop loss, you stay in. Long as it holds this cloud, you're in. And there's a high chance it's going to go to midline. If it goes to midline, high probability goes to the top of the cloud. And here, I believe we had some Fed news. So here it got under the cloud. Cloud opened up. Cloud opened up a little bit sooner before the break. And you guys see this opened up, I guess, is this Monday at noon. And we dipped through the cloud at 3 o'clock. So, it's not like, hey, I'm breaking through, open up. It opened up at noon. So it gave indication, hey, there's some shift happening, right? So the top cloud closed and the bottom one opened up. And the bottom one opened up, but the top one didn't close till a little bit later, right? So there was about an hour difference between the opening and closing of the cloud here. So not that it makes, difference, but it's good to know, when it's closing, when it's opening. So for now, the bottom cloud here is open. So there's a chance we might go. If you use any lagging indicators, this strategy for trading purposes is built off the MACD. And you guys have the script here, right? Whoever's in the Discord. It's showing us a nice divergence in the histogram of the Discord. I'm sorry, on the MACD. So you see the momentum here on a sell-off is actually a lot less than initial one here. So there's a high chance that they might push this up a little bit, right? That we might get a bounce, right? And then we can get into the levels and see where we bounced and why we bounced there. So this is my 4 hour cloud. The blue one that you see, guys, here is a daily cloud. So in terms of it goes 4 hours, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly. If you get into the monthlies, quarterlies, and yearlies, that means the market's moving a lot. And usually those levels become really strong support and resistance levels. So weeklies is really, really powerful. Usually we stay because we're most of the time in balance in the market. Weekly is usually really, really good one for look for rejection supports, bullish money shots. And then, we talked about bullish money shot here just quickly. Does anyone know how the bearish money shot will look like? If the bullish money shot's this here, how would the bearish one look like?
You would break through the top cloud and retest it.
Yep, you come here and then you just continue to the bottom. So this would be the bearish. You just continue the way you're headed, but we know where you're headed with 90% chance. And then the backdoor, the bullish backdoor is when you're, let me find one actually. Maybe here. So the bullish backdoor is right here. And just know these aggregated. you break through the cloud, then you come back, and then you point higher. So this is your bullish backdoor. You hop through the clouds on the top side, you come back on the top, you retest, and then you go higher. On the bearish side is the same way, just opposite, right? You break through the clouds on the bottom, right? So here's a break. You come back here, and then kind of head it down. So that's the bearish backdoor. So there's only 4 plays. Bullish money shot occur on the bottom of the clouds. Bearish backdoors happen on the bottom of the clouds. Bullish backdoors happen on top, and bearish money shots happen on the top. Okay. So the daily cloud, if you guys look at it here, so SPY, ES, we broke through this cloud, and this is potentially, we're looking for a rejection on this cloud here. So I think it's going to be around 37, well, there it says 3750. There's a high chance that we're going to come up to here and do what? What would be the play? I just gave you guys the names of it. Somebody not named Makari or Drew.
If it rejects, it would be a bearish backdoor.
Yeah, it'd be a bearish backdoor off the daily cloud. So that would be a really good play because, bearish backdoors on the daily are pretty powerful. Usually, you want to short that, especially if the cloud shifts and it closes. If the cloud is closed and you're hitting this from the bottom, honestly, it's free money by the market makers. Like usually that's a gimme for me. So now, I looked at the 4 hours, I would mark these levels and this would be my daily mid. And you guys, usually I put something like this on my charts just to tell me daily mid. And this is a DT here. That means daily top. And then this was our 4-hour top here. So now I would have all these levels here. And this is daily bottom 2.0. And I would expect to see a rejection here if we go up, right? And then when I go into the weekly cloud, which is this one here, let me make sure. Yep. So look where we bounced. You guys see that? We bounced perfectly on the weekly bottom, right? So it hit to a penny on the weekly bottom, and it will take some time and power to get through this. So we have the weekly bottom, then you have the weekly middle, and then the weekly top, of course, which is closed right now. So now if I was to shift this cloud and look at the monthly clouds here, look at this. We are now trying to get back inside the monthly range here, which is a big deal, right? If we are to flush through the monthly here, if we break this level here, 35.35 or 35.35, if we break this, there's a probably 90% chance we're going to go to quarterly mid. And if you guys look here, so this is our monthly mid. So just pay attention once we identify the monthly mid. So now you'll see how quickly the price action kind of goes through these clouds and how they play. Whenever there's space between these levels, that space becomes pretty much free. That space becomes really quickly filled with price action. Like here, this would be a really quick move here between 40.56 and this. It will happen rather quickly. So now when I switch to the next one, which is our quarterly, and this honestly don't look at it a lot, but look at this now. So we broke through the cloud, we dipped, we bounced back up, we never broke through the top. And look at the rejection here on the quarterly top. Right below it is the quarterly mid. And this would be pretty much the ultimate level. If you're to break this 35.35, this would be the level where we are headed. And then if we break that, then, it would be 2,600. And this is screaming buy here. And then if I look at the final one, I haven't used this yearly, guys, and it's been a while since I had to switch to a yearly cloud. And now think about this. Ever since the, you guys see what happened in March 20th?
Broke through
What type
the monthly top. I mean the yearly top, and
and
that's
quickly reclaimed it,
yeah,
right?
bullish backdoor. Yeah.
So if we are by any chance to go here, guys, this would be a really nice bounce pad here. at 3,100, this would be a major. This is a yearly top, and this I haven't had a need to look at this in a while. So if we were to go here, this would be kind of like a banger play by some long leaps or a couple of months out, and this is going to cause a major reaction, right? So that's kind of what we were looking at in terms of the levels and how they're respected. So now if you look at, for instance, if you type in SPY or any ticker you like, I'm able to quickly digest, what's going on in terms of the market and where we are and what is the expected move and the range we have. So now if you look at SPY, we broke the daily bottom, same as ES. Here, you struggle to get back inside. And here's this one here. This is the one I'm kind of interested in, and that's why I grabbed a few calls, or I swung a few calls. I made some money, on the bounce here. And here it is currently, right? So 36625 is the weekly bottom here on the line. And there's a nice bullish divergence building up on MACD, at least on the momentum side of the things. So that's primarily how I use clouds. I identify the levels, and then I see how does this kind of correspond with the volume profile that we do, right? And to see if a major level matches, let's say a retest of like a build up POC or a run up POC or a rundown POC. And this gives me a confluence item, so that way I can take a long or short depending on where the price is. Okay. Any questions? Does everybody understand the clouds?
Yeah. Or I don't want to speak for everybody, but I understand them.
Okay, what about everybody else in the Discord?
Yep, I understand.
Okay.
No. So
Indian, so honestly, it's not a lot. When I look at these charts, I can tell quickly, where we are, right? So if I look here, I know quickly that, 37642, I could probably say with a lot of freedom that this is going to be a rejection. So this becomes a very close level in my head. And then, once we look at the volume profile for the remainder, I would take a look at it and be like, okay, well, does this make sense? 376. So if I was to go into volume profile, for instance, let's say SPY. So if I was to go here, and let's just look at 4 hours, and I want to see the sell-off, and that happened 21st. So if I look at this right now, and this is the level that I'm getting for shorting SPY right now. And obviously I will short it there if it gets there. So for me, the level right here is 374.98 that I'll be shorting SPY. And as you guys know, I don't really short single lines, right? So for me, this range would be somewhere, I can't see the volume profile that well, but let's go off of this one. So this would be the level where I'm looking to short it. So, if the high end of this zone is 376.28, let's see where the cloud was that I said it's 376.17. So when I combine those levels, 376.28, 376.18, that's right there, right? So for me, this is a banger play setting up, right? So you have the value area low of the run up, you have the rundown POC. I'm sorry, not run up, rundown. Rundown POC along with the daily bottom. That's a really bearish play setting up. Unless we're able to break this, then we have a high probability to go here, right? And this is without me looking at any session volume profiles to see how we reacted previously, right? So that's how I kind of look up for confluence items, and I'm able to mark them and say, hey, this is a confluence item with the daily bottom. So here it would be, rundown POC plus DB. So now I'll be able to know quickly that this level is fairly important, and I'll be able to short it here. And if it doesn't work, let's say it fails, well, then I did my best in the research, right? And I was able to quickly know if it's going to work or not. So the best thing you can do as a trader is find the Confluence items where you can short it. And from there, that's, if it breaks this level, let's say my entry was here and I'm gonna stop out. If it breaks 376, well, then quickly we can figure out the reward position, right? So let's say my entry's here, my stop loss is here, my goal is here. So that's not a bad trade. That's 5-to-1 trade. And I'll probably take that, right? If it comes up to here, and I would play that all day. So hopefully that helps you kind of answer how do you get to keep up with all of these. Yeah, these the previously one, these are not Ichimoku clouds. I don't use Ichimoku, but I'm familiar with Ichimoku. So, for people that, if you're new to the Discord, the Keltner channels are available for you in TradingView. So you guys have access to them. We asked Sequence to add the monthly clouds for you guys. So you guys will be able to see all the clouds that I see as well. We didn't think at first we're gonna need the monthly clouds, but the
You
way
mean
the
the
price
quarterly, right?
oh yeah, I'm sorry, quarterly. Yeah, quarterly. We have the monthly, quarterly clouds. At first, we didn't think we are gonna need them, but the way the market's been moving, I had to go back even on quarterly just to kind of look at the price action and see what's going on. And then, of course, the whole thing is here built on kind of scanning. I can scan the bottom, the top of the clouds, the yearly, whatever, and find which stocks are in the top, which ones are in the bottom. That way I can kind of quickly gauge to see which sectors are beat up, which sectors are up, where can I kind of, if my long-term portfolio needs help, where can I look to buy shares or whatnot. And, quickly here I noticed that on the monthly tops, a lot of energy stocks are on the monthly tops, and that's mainly driven, as you guys know, by the inflation, by the war, whatnot. And then you see a couple of financials, some information tech, utilities, and then, if I go on a weekly top, I can also see what's there. So that way I can quickly gauge to understand, where the rotation might happen as well. So it's kind of built the whole strategy from trading. And if you guys noticed here, I also use the orbs in Confluence with everything that I see here. So when I'm looking here, I'm able to quickly gauge and see what's going on. Intraday levels, where are my orbs? What are we doing here? Once they open up and everything that kind of lines up with the strategy itself, you can trade off of it on its own, but I really love volume profile, and hence I incorporate my levels from clouds with the VP here. Okay. All right. With that being said, I was gonna go into the watch list now, unless you guys have more questions on the clouds itself, and you guys can use this. I do have like a little PowerPoint on Keltner channels that I can share with you guys if somebody's interested, and it breaks down the 4 plays and gives you the visuals of them in case you guys need it.
That would be great, Shorty.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see where we are. So we'll start with ES for the upcoming week. Okay, so big picture first. Let's look at 3 days. So all I did here, guys, is I grabbed the pre-COVID low all the way to the high here. Where did I go? To up to here. And I was able to kind of find, the shelves. So I grabbed this shelf here. Maybe I can make it a little bit smaller. Yep. So I grabbed this shelf here, which is 3663.5. That seems to be a pretty important shelf, right? Once you're below that one, or if you're a little bit more risk averse, once you lose this level here, 3614, you open up the gates a little bit, all the way to the VAL. And if you guys remember earlier, what did I say the quarterly mid was on ES? Was it this? So here, if you guys look. There's my quarterly mid. What's the number? 3377. You guys see this? So pay attention, 3373, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, 3377. What is the value here? Value area low of this run up here. You guys see this?
That's
Right,
the
you can
POC, isn't it?
this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you said the value area low. I was really
No,
confused.
I don't mean no. It's a POC. It's the run up POC is where.
It's right at that level, 3370-ish. Yeah.
It's right there at this. So
3369.
so the whole run up that we had here from COVID lows to here. This is our POC, guys. I'm sorry, I said VAL, but my whole day has been VAL today. So here, 3369, the area right here that we have, and if I put the top level on top of this somewhere, so we're looking at kind of 3382 to this zone is, guys, this, if you don't believe me, just use it for educational purposes. This is going to be a nice bounce here. This is going to be a pretty nice bounce, and it could probably get 300 points or so from this level. And when it lines up with the quarterly mid, which, okay, let me give you guys an idea. Last time that we were in quarterly mid before March 20th is when? Let's see.
2008.
We broke below it in 2008. This will be the third time in what is that? 14 years that we might touch quarterly mid. So it's a rare occurrence that you come all the way to quarterly mid here. Okay, so this level will be big. This shelf is also fairly important here at 3363. I would say that, that we're going to have some buyers at 3650 just because of the retail, but I think they might not like the reaction that we get if we break it. So then I'm just going to mark this guy here. I hate the word COVID. Okay, that's my run up. So this is our. So this would be the buy zone, right? If in case we decide to dump here, you can really get a nice bounce here. So then, we start looking into smaller levels, right? So we have a little bit of action previously. If you're going to be shorting, right? Let's see, what did we mark here? So this is our level for shorting. I'm just going to go on 65 minutes here. So if you guys look here, if you're able to go down this level here, this is our reset. So we would mark this guy here. So this would be a nice short. If we are able to push this up, that's a nice short. You cannot ignore this shelf that's kind of sitting right here in your face. This is also a good short in case we see any weakness. The 3765 would be good. And if you guys see here, if there's a nice little POC here, this is September 21st POC. So we'll just make this one a little bit smaller. So
Right about it, Mitra.
I'm sorry. So this would be a nice potentially rejection here as well. We just have to watch and see how they want to play it. And you guys see how even if I was to grab, between, let's say, this volume here to here, look how a lot of volume was accumulated at this level, and then they dumped it. So this means that they're actually planning a distribution the whole time, right? They're waiting, and then the news popped, and they literally sold it off. So if we were to bring this point back up here, what would you expect?
Dump.
To defend it.
Yeah, the shorts are going to be here, and they're going to be ready to defend it, right? So this would be a really good level for shorting. And then if we are able to, I say this, if we are able to break this level up here, on the long side, come back for a retest, one could scalp this all the way to here and get out, right? So you could get in here, just know the VAL here of this rundown is there. So you want to be kind of aware of it so you don't get killed on the long side. So this would be
So, Shorty, I don't know if you would mind showing it really quick, but there's a lot of questions in YouTube about the Keltner clouds.
what about it?
Just as far as getting access. And
Yeah, there's for Keltner channels, if you're in the Discord, you get the trading view access, correct? The toss clouds, you will not get access to those, unfortunately. Unless you have a liver or a kidney to spare, and we can talk.
who do you know that needs a liver or a kidney?
Shorty, I got a lot of volume there at 376 ish, 375 ish. Does that match yours? Well, I got it on XPX.
Yeah, it is, but use ES for charting out.
Okay,
ES
buddy.
yeah.
It's pretty much what how much is it off from ES to XPX? About 10 points.
Yeah, I think it was 15 points, 14.9 at close on Friday.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yep. So here we got a nice little shelf above 37.20 here. If you're able to break that, but we'll look at the range and see what's going on. But this so far looks pretty weak here. Then we have a POC here, 4,000, which we are aware. I love doing this. This is cool. Watch this now. You just grab this day to this day. And look, once you lost this POC, cumulative POC was a done deal. Okay, so we're just gonna hide this guy for a moment. Hide SVB. I'm gonna go here, look at the PVP real quick. Okay, so this, you guys see how important this level here is? So this is our weekly value as well. This is gonna be a pretty important level here. In case we do this, let's see. They would need some news. And then you guys see where the POC is for the weekly?
3805.
Where is it?
3800. 3805.
3890, but it lines up perfectly with this 3877, very close
Oh.
to it.
Yeah, my bad.
Yep. So if you look at this, 3877. Let me make sure I didn't mess this up. I don't want to redo it. 3877. Yep. So now that we have this, so there's a nice little confluence, and look how cool this is. Right between these POCs, what is it? So one might think, hey man, we're gonna be running through this because they gave me a big big green candle or red candle, and then look, they just literally slap you right here at 38.91, and then above you have the weekly value area low. And this level here is going to be brutal. Really, really crazy level. And I just want to see where's the POC for the month right now.
Or do you mean previous week value area high?
Did I say that? Oh yes. Yeah, man, I'm off. You're correct. Thank you for fixing that.
No problem.
And look where the developing POC is for month of September.
Right
Yeah, I
there.
see that right here. And then obviously the previous month, even though we're 4, but that's right there. I don't think we're gonna get, if we get to this level, this is easy short. If you're to come here, this would be money maker. Okay. And the only thing that's left now is what? Preview day high. And so the question is, how do you trade this now? Makari, how would you trade this tomorrow?
A really good question. I think I would look at how we open versus the previous day POC first to see if we have bears in control or bulls in control.
That's correct. And what's the second? Where do we go long?
Right there.
Yeah, we have to wait for this preview. You have to accept, you have to make a higher value acceptance. We have to switch the gears. You have to go above 37.16 or this area here of the previous value. We need to find a new value on the higher side. And if you guys look, a day prior to that value area is at 37.70. So I'm thinking if we do run up here, that it will be setting up for this nice short here around 3800, 37.78.
Shorty, would you take into consideration the July value area low at 37.25?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't have it, but I would. Yes. And then there's also a run up POC somewhere right there
3778 is where the PLC is.
for September. Or which one are you talking about?
Yes,
So if you look at
September PLC, 21st of September PLC. It's
July
right at
value area low is for me as a 37.4850. Is that what you guys have?
Yeah, I'm looking at.
All right, well, I'll let you guys look at it, but this would be the levels that I kind of care for right now.
Yeah, I was following you up there where you were at the end there.
So this would be the
Falling wedge,
major
Shorty?
levels that I'm sorry.
Is that a falling wedge?
It seems to be correct. Yeah, it seems to be a falling wedge, but I think even on the bigger time frames, we got a little bit of that. So here's your daily. And the daily candle, I just have to remove this line because it makes it look like a hammer. Kind of slowing down the momentum here, but if you look at Ashies, I mean, it's a full big candle here that picked up. On regular candles, obviously, we just opened, but let's see what we can do. You had the dip, and then you got bought up. Did anyone check like 8-hour time frames? Yeah, look at the 8-hour candle here. It's a nice candle, right off of the bottom of this. So let's see, we got to break the previous day value area high here. We got to find new acceptance. And then we looked at the PVP on the weekly. So if you look at that one, it tells you a little bit of a story there as well. I'll just go on 1 hour. So you're looking at weekly. So here, what shape is this on the volume on the previous week? Anyone? What shape is this?
Is that a P?
It looks like a P, right? It could be also labeled as double distribution, but the POC happens to be on the top. So it'll be interesting to see how we kind of close this week and see if it drives any, short covering on the upside here. So and we're just cruising down now, 36.94. And the only way I would short this is that once it breaks 36.80, you can short it for 20 points here to 36.63, because here you also have a range. Your previous day value area high is also the range top, right? You guys see that? Does everybody see that? So you have the range top here, and then you have the range bottom here.
Yeah.
So that we're gonna be and you have multiple ranges in here that you can play. So you have one here, 36.87. So if you're kind of go here, so there's a nice one here, kind of respecting here, but I wouldn't trust this one too much because I think we can slice through it. I mean, this is the bottom of, I guess, today's session. So this would be the bottom of the range. The PD value area low might provide some bounce. And then here, you could potentially play the bottoms, scraps on the first touch and see if this holds, right? If we get an aggressive kind of trending day tomorrow, then there's a chance, right, that we break through the 36.63. Usually what happens, if you guys noticed, right? So even on the previous sell-offs, we had a little bit of consolidations on the 4 hours. So we could consolidate here for 4 hours till some news come out, something news driven and drives it up or down. But here, if we break this, even on the weekly profile, the structure is really poor until we get to this 37.78, right? So there is some sellers in this range. But if we break that, then I get really interested in shorting heavily here. And I don't use any RSI or any indicators, but I'm pretty certain we are oversold on a lot of time frames. Okay.
Shorty, the other day you marked 37.52 as a nice shorting area. I don't know why, but or what volume profile you had used, but I remember those were in charted. Is that still not valid, or I mean, does that go away?
The market adjusted. You got to go over the market, right? So market's telling you 38.87 is the level where we're looking for short. So you have 37.78, you have 37.65 to 37.78. That's a range for short. And you're talking
Got it.
about, here, you have 37.39. There's a skinny belly now on the downside. So that, you always keep adjusting.
Okay.
Yep. It was good for last week. It's no good for this week. Market adapts and moves. So we got to adapt and move with it. Okay. All right, that's it for ES and Q. Has a kind of same shape here as this guy. So we do have one BPOC, and that's all the way up to here. So I'm gonna take a note of that guy. They came back and hit this POC on the dot. Then previous day was obviously VPOC here. Let's see if they push towards it. I think there's gonna be some short coverings here, guys. I'm on PVP. I thought this was. Yeah, this is gonna be a nice short on this if we ever get there, but we got to break through here in order to go along. Do I have to tell you where we should short it? Yeah, this is a really, really, really good short here, guys. I hope they bring him back up to here. You guys see this level here. What would this indicate? So I grabbed the run-up POC. What would this indicate? If we really want to turn a little bit of on the bullish side, where would you guys expect it to happen?
Run up POC.
Yeah, we need this run-up POC to be switched, right? We need the bulls to get into control of the previous POC where they exploded from. And if you look at this reaction to it, it wasn't really strong here. So that tells us this demand here was pretty bullshit. Right? So you would expect a stronger bounce here when you bring something back after a month of running up. So we'll ignore it for a moment. Then we got to do the same thing we did here. And you guys see how many levels we got here in a tight area. We need to find some big boy levels. So this level here is going to be pretty important. If we lose this 10-3-2-1, I mean, obviously, then you have the pre-COVID highs in this area. Though, even though these pre-COVID highs will not play that big of a role, opinion for now. From perspective of retesting the breakout levels, yes, but there's stuff in between that's a little bit more weight. Like here, this one here is important. 19,957. So this pre-COVID high. And you guys see here how pretty is this? I mean, I get excited when this happens. So when you think about it, we had this whole run up here, right? You have the whole run up. You break below this. You did a nice, and look where we rejected. Right on the money. You reject the previous run up POC as you lost that, or they lost that. All right. Seems like this level here is also our.
Sure, you sound very low.
MPD value area low. Is it better now?
Yeah, much better.
All right. And then we got PVD right here. I messed up again. I'm dyslexic, so.
Are you really dyslexic, Shorty?
Oh, I am, dude. Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, big time dyslexic, dude. Don't even ask me about numbers.
Is that why you use Einstein as your picture?
yeah, he was also dyslexic.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do. It looks like we're headed to PD value area low right now. And then this is our current session here that we're in now. And then the range bottom is right here.
$36.59. Is that what you got, Shorty?
36.59.
We're at session low. Oh, broke session low on ES.
Not sure about.
Oh, my bad. You're not on ES.
Oh. taking a beating here again. Yeah, and then does anyone check volume? Where is the on like 3-month chart? Look at that.
Pretty flat.
Yeah, pretty flat for a big sell-off. And when you compare it to 2008, there's some volume here. I don't know about the volume here.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if the war ends very soon in Russia.
Sure, I hope so.
And then let's see, where's the 50 here?
After you're teaching Shorty, it's weird to watch the time and sales on ES right now. Like people buying calls here. I don't see why. I mean, I guess you have a double bottom.
I mean, this is a retest of the previous breakout here. They could buy here, but I don't think they're gonna do well.
Yep. Like I saw a 20 order roll through. Like that's, you know. I know that's not a huge order, but at this hour, it's kind of significant.
Yeah, I don't know what he's seeing here.
I think he just sold them. Now I see a sell for 20.
Well, this is the low of the day. I think he's just betting on this right here.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said.
Right.
There's like a double bottom there.
Yep. So I think he's expecting this to go here. It could quickly go against him to the PD value area low, and it
Yeah.
will.
I think I just saw him sell. So
It wasn't me. Let's see. Yes, we covered NQ. On NQ, you know, we can short below the PD value area low here because we had that nice run. Obviously, you can short below that one, right? That means we are rejecting this area here. And I don't know why my levels shift. Okay, that'll be the PD value area low. Once we break this level, then probably high session, you know, high chance of the SSL low. If we slice through that, then 11.2 is the, I would expect buyers to show up here. Can you guys still hear me or are you struggling to hear me?
no, we can hear you, or I can.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So that I would expect buyers to show up here, and then if they lose this, right, we can look at some stuff on the weekly. We'll just hide this guy here for a moment. You know, you have this low here, which is our previous low of 1073, but this level here becomes fairly important here, 10945. A pretty big shelf. We bounced from it before. We never reached it last time, so we could go and up from there. Oh yeah, that's not suspicious at all. The second largest food is they're gonna create chaos, guys. I hope you guys are prepared for it. And I'm not trying to be like, man, I told you guys so, but I did tell you guys how bad this is gonna get when everybody was bullish. This is just the beginning. If they want to take this all the way down, I mean, when you don't have food and people are poor and not have jobs and everything costs twice as much, what happens? You would kill for food. Unfortunately, right? People will kill for food. So just know they're building apartments for a reason. They're not building them because you want them. Nobody that I know when I was in an apartment was not able to grow food on their balcony that much.
Shorty, would it be possible to turn up your mic volume just a tad bit?
It's at the highest level. I don't know what to do unless I eat
Okay.
the phone. Yeah.
No, I mean that's fine. It's just like whenever you talk, it's like a little low, and then everyone, like whenever like anyone else talks, super loud.
Happen.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yes.
Way
I don't
better.
know if you guys can hear me or not.
but you unshared your screen.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we just can't see you.
I can't hear any of it.
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you now. Is it better now or worse?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, way
Yeah.
better. Thank
All
you.
right, cool.
We just
All right,
can't see you now.
No, you can't see me.
You closed
No.
your screen.
Yeah, you'll be able to see that shortly. There goes the balance off of the PD value area low. So your friend, the 20 contract just took a beating.
Yeah.
I
Now an order for 16 just came through.
should have
No.
left. Good guy.
This is where you want to buy, not where he bought it.
No, I know. He's late. Well, he was early and now he's late.
Yeah, so we got to watch this scene. They need buyers here. They need PPT team. There goes Smith to be awake tonight. And this is the volume you want to see when it's coming down. Right, that's some decent volume at this time of the hour. I think we're going to slice through this on the bottom now.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. You just could have picked up 5 points, 6 points on
That's
a few
money.
plays. Well, I mean, 6, 7 points on a couple of ES contracts. That's good money.
I'll take it all day.
Yeah, so Amazon, let's see what we got here. Obviously, this is setting up for a nice little bear flag. If you guys want to look where to short this guy, and I would doubt that we break this value area low here. So if this was to magically somehow some news come out, run this up to POC, you know what to do here.
Is this
This
that's
is
I just sent a picture, Shorty, in the chat. That's right now, right? Or a few minutes ago?
no, that was 4:57 yesterday or Friday.
Oh, okay, so it's not 4:57 today. Because it's 6 p.m. where I am. So
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. where I'm at.
no, I know, but I'm saying the time would be based off of my time, not your time.
Yeah. So we would expect short Amazon here if anyone's looking short. The guy on Facebook apologized to me. He had the balls to say, I'm sorry. I told him Tesla was headed to 280 and it sliced through it. That's good. Respectful. And this is where we're looking at Tesla. If there's any good news on Tesla, hopefully they announce something. Short the hell out of that.
I like how it gapped past the value area low. Nice.
This would be our short level. Right here. This is your patient short. You know, they're going to go on this value area low. You could enter here, but I would probably not. So we would wait, you know, if it comes here, it's short. This is if we have a run up, and then if we don't, we just got to find what did they do here. Oh, Tessie. Sweetheart. Yeah, okay. 1K account, I'm okay. I can transfer funds into a new account. So 272 breaks, we're going most likely. This 265 doesn't seem like there's much meat to it. It looks like we're going 263 here. Maybe some fake buyers show up here, but I would expect this here to be relevant. I would expect Tesla to go to all the way to 253 if there's any any potential for more down, as it seems like there will be. So tomorrow, easy short, below 272, high chance you go. If you want to be risk averse, play the double bottom tap we had here, which would be 265. That's pretty good. You get almost $7 here. And then once we lose that, you have another $12 all the way to value area high. If this gets broken here, there's probably a higher chance that you're going to be dumping all the way to this POC than anything else. So the buyers will be here. And when I say buyers here, obviously we're in a really bearish trend. That doesn't mean, we're going to reverse, go to all-time highs like some people on Twitter think. That just means that we're going to get a reaction out of the market. On this level, there's going to be some people looking to buy and defend their long positions, right? So they got in here for a reason. Then when you look at the longer picture, right? Obviously, we had this one that we grabbed. And then if you look at this guy, let's say from here to here, that's also right around the corner at 227. And they brought it back to that level already once. So not that it's relevant still, but here, trying my best to get it there. So see, they brought it back, and what did they do? They defended that level and they sent it back higher, right? So I'm expecting them to test, and you even see here this value area high, very close to that one. So what is this one? This one's around 248. It's about $5 range where they can kind of set up traps. Below 248 opens up the doors a little bit more downside, 227. So lose 244, you go to 227. So that's a pretty easy play as well. But for now, 272. What else you guys want to see?
Can you chart the Wynn Resorts, WYNN?
Yeah, this one is man, this is nasty. And what are you thinking here, Karthik?
Yeah, so Shorty, like I drew a trend line from the all-time high to the low. So it attempted to break previous week, but it failed again with the spike. So I'm just seeing like if the trend line is going to.
Oh man, it just got rejected from the all-time high, from all-time POC right here, 71.92. So I wouldn't touch it long. So this level is taken out. I would not even look at it.
Sure, thanks.
And then, from the bounce perspective, they're going to be heavy on defending this area here, 34.71. So, and then here, if you look at this, maybe daily, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a nice rejection here. So, this would be the nice level to kind of short right below this 57. And then if we run this guy to here, yeah, you can short it, for $3, maybe $2.80. Right here. Yeah. Not ready for shares just yet.
Yeah, I was just charting it based on some of the lessons, so I just saw this one. Like, I just want to get your view. I just simply run my trend line. It looks so great. Like now, as you said, like when I put the volume profile into it, the picture and the answer completely changes.
Yeah, trust the volume profile more over trend lines, as you know. Yeah. More important than a trend line.
Sure.
Yeah, and here you have a nice trend line as well on the bottom, which kind of matches. They set up a little trap here all the way 34. 34, I would consider buying at 36, 34. This would be the area where I get interested in shares. Right now it's too high.
if the economy goes down, who's going to be looking to booking vacations, right? If they keep burning food plants, people are going to be, worried about some other shit.
Yeah, that's right. Like,
Wind, snow. Let's look at snow. Oh my god. Is this company that does insurance, or am I mixing? What is no insurance? What do they do?
They're
Database.
like a database company.
Oh,
To create like some AI stuff and data lakes and whatnot.
okay. All cloud?
Yeah, cloud.
yeah, the CEO moved from ServiceNow. That was also one of the things they were saying. It's have a good future.
Do they have a
ServiceNow
front end platform, or is it just the back end stuff? Like, do
I
they do
believe they
anything?
have front end as well. Like in our company, they're trying to build this one, the database as well as start up a front end, but not too much on the technical side, Shorty.
Hmm. So is the competition here Informatica, or who's their competitor on? Is it IBM, Informatica? Who's the competitor?
Yeah. That at least in my company, that's what they are moving away from. They are just doing a pilot, like moving away from Informatica and try to do this.
Okay.
They are just attempting a pilot.
Okay, I'll check on this with some people in my company. They took a beating. Holy shit, they took a beating. I don't even know what to tell you. I mean, this is right here at the value area low. It needs to hold this for any all-time here POC on this low, if you want to call it run up. From here to here. Have this. You could look for calls 164. I wouldn't bet on it. If it comes up to here, if you can time it where it's confluenced with the trend line and this value area high DM, that would be maybe a nice entry. When I say entry, for maybe a week or two swing. I don't know their financials, like tell you about shares, their model. Yeah, I mean, there's a nice shelf here that they built right now, and they're making higher lows here. They made maybe. Are they over $1 billion company or less than $1 billion?
I think it's over $1 billion, I believe. I recently had not checked it. Take a quick check.
Where was their IPO?
Yeah, it's a $55 billion company.
How much?
55.
55 billion?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's their
Holy
market.
crap.
That's their market cap.
Oh, market cap. Okay.
Oh, you're asking sales. Sorry, I was just looking for the market.
Yeah.
I think it's the
Half a
last
billion.
quarter. It's 500 million. Yeah.
So they're a $1.2 billion company. It's not bad. I would just have to look. Research it a little bit and see, but I just don't know. I would look into the financials maybe a little bit more, not on the call here, but I would look at the financials more in terms of shares. Especially when they're fresh IPO. I don't like to buy them just yet.
Yeah, they're fresh IPO, hot name.
Yeah, and honestly, whoever underwrote this deal, I don't know who did it, whether it was Goldman Sachs. They usually front up the IPO, and look what they did here. How many poor people? Yeah,
And also the fact that Buffett bought shares, so I think that hyped it as well.
Yeah. Just know Warren Buffett gets preferred shares if there's any. He gets the top of the line shit. He doesn't buy it.
I think his price was $120 a share.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, you probably could be trimming there a little bit because they don't pay dividends.
They don't even make money yet.
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't like buying shares and stuff like this, but that's just me. For now, I would. Yeah, I mean, we went all the way to 429, like many other things, and you drop it from there to here, you lose 75% of market cap. I don't know. Ooh. I get chills all over me when I see this. Yeah, but if you're gonna play long short, these are the levels, DM, that I would look. Maybe a bounce here. Watch this 169. There's a little gap here as well. There's a little gap zone here. So this could be your nice bounce area. It bounced here before. It could be a liquidity grab right here, right below. Bounce from here up. And then if we break this area, there's potentially like 80% chance you go from 164 to 146. So I would expect that. All right, Google. Okay, Google doing Google things. So now, since we lost this, if we refresh this, there's probably a high chance we're going to go back to 89. Let me see, where can we short it to drive that? I'll be a part of the buying team at 89. Where's that range? Maybe I need to go on higher time frame. Okay, there it goes. Needs to go here. So tomorrow it'd be nice if they push it up to 99, or even like, I know the 100 is going to be a tough level to crack for Google now. But let's see. Ooh. Yeah, the 102 level is going to be brutal. If we're, I do think we're going to bounce tomorrow. I don't know. It needs to be a technical bounce fairly soon. If not, some shorts are going to be crying this week. So this is our short level for Google. I'm pretty positive I was short here as well. And then you could swing this out like December puts, or November maybe. Is it 21st of November is the month? The 18th? So November 18th. Yep. So I'd watch that there on Google. And then just doing the normal stuff on SVP, right, on 30 minutes. I would look at this, look at the value areas, right? You do not want to be taking anything long unless it's not above previous day value area low, which would be here, 98.96. If you're desperate for a play, this is probably not the best meat on the play. The red lines is where the new value areas start. Then you have the previous VPOC here at pretty much at 100 at the VPOC here. So if we run up to here, this VPOC could be as a nice rejection. If we gap up over it somehow, or whatever happens tonight, they gap over it, then we're looking at this level here. Ooh. Fed has to issue FX swap line press release before open. Oh, God. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow, guys. And I think there's 19 speakers, Fed president speaking this week, just so you know. If you ever look for a week not to trade, I'll give you advice right now. This is the week.
Shit.
Yeah, but I'm out of the office, so.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, so it's going to go straight up or straight down.
Oh, that's fucking lovely.
Dumpsters out of the office. This is the week to trade.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Lots of patience, you suggest, Shorty, till the afternoon?
I mean, this is going to be a horrible week. I just can't lie. This is going to be, it could be a range week, and it could be like a week you've never seen before in the market.
Yeah, chop, chop, chop.
And it could be drop too. So,
what is an FX swap?
So when they announce something like this, man, well, FX swap is when they're trying to kind of leverage the currencies to make sure that the allies' currencies, like we've been doing a lot of swaps with Japan. Japan currency hit, I believe it was, don't quote me, I think 25-year low.
Okay.
On that currency. So what they did is they do some swaps to strengthen it, to give it back a little bit, but they expected BOJ, Bank of Japan, to increase the rate so they can strengthen the dollar, right? When they increase the rates, you strengthen the dollar because you're weakening the market, right? So people look for somewhere to inflow the money. And recently, U.S., the market and the currency was receiving a lot of inflow. So it became very strong, and it's hard for other countries to kind of operate. So if you look at, for instance, USD and yen, here's this, right? So, we got the drop on the yen here and then going back up right now, and gonna most likely reject. Let's see, where is this guy? Wow, this is nasty what they did, but yeah. It's most likely going to reject here 144. But what the FX swap does, they want to hold down the volatility, and they suppress also the VIX, right? And a lot of banks, big banks, got sued for suppressing VIX, because when you do multiple swaps and you strengthen dollar or you strengthen yen or the Chinese currency or euro, whatever that might be, you're manipulating the market a little bit to control it from falling.
All right, thank
and
you.
it looks like they're imposing 20% risk reserve requirement on FX forward sales. So this liquidity is gonna, guys. And if you don't know much about repos, I started putting some PowerPoints together for you guys to explain it in kind of like a kindergarten level what it means. Once you understand the repos and how it moves the liquidity out of the market into the market, like what happened in 2020, I wrote up something there to kind of give you an illustration. It is scary, to say the least. It's really scary, like what they're doing. So they injected about $1.9 trillion into the market, which they awarded themselves that money. The Fed did. The $4.6 trillion was printed in 2020, and Fed said, we're going to be going and doing 1.9 for us. And when you drop the interest rate to 0, what do you think the banks do to Fed? They're like, hey, we'll take some money. And then, you look at SPY from 2020, of course, you guys know what happened. We had the bull run, that happens once in every 20 years or so. So you get this when you inject $1.9 trillion. And now what they're doing is that they're reducing the liquidity. And the way to reduce liquidity is by imposing risks of 20% on swaps. It's also by increasing the cash reserves for the banks, meaning the banks can no longer do repo because now the Feds require their cash to be in the bank in deposits. So the banks, for banks, the cash, your cash, my cash, and the bank is a liability. So when the interest rate, the benchmark interest rate on the reserves, meaning how much cash they need to keep in the bank, is high, that means they can't invest that and they can't take out small repo loans. And a repo loan is basically this. Drew comes up to me, he's like, hey man, I need a short-term loan and I need it, to be $500 million. And for that loan of $500 million right here, let's say 500 million is here, I will pay you 550 million in 3 weeks. Well, that's a repo, and then comes the reverse repo, and what does Drew have to do? He has to pay out 550 million back to me. So now this guy the bank that loaned 500 million made 50 million in 3 weeks. And most hedge funds, when you talk about mutual funds and those like longer pension funds that have a lot of cash, it doesn't make sense for them not to do this. They're sitting on a ton of cash, and this bank needs some cash, needs some liquidity. They're like, okay, I'll give you 500 million, but you got to pay me 50 million in fees. Then the bank takes this, 550 million. Let's say they bought it here, they invested it. If you look at Apple, for instance, Apple was at 52. I'm not saying they did this. It's just a scenario. They buy 500 million at $53, right? I'm just throwing an idea out. They buy it here. They make, from that 500 million, they make 1.2 billion. Now they made 700 million. They give 50 million to Drew, and everything else for the bank is profit. And was it ever their money in question? Did they ever use any of their money? Never.
No.
So that's pretty much in a nutshell. And now they're kind of reversing that. So it's kind of scary at the moment what they're doing. They can really fuck up the market.
Somebody's asking in YouTube if VIX would be a good play in the case with the FX swap.
No, VIX is suppressed. So it just the 20% impose. I don't know when the news came out. Did we have ES reaction to this right now? Nothing. Yeah, ES didn't really react yet. We're back to PDA, VAL here, so it looks like we're gonna break it soon. But yeah, you don't. I don't know. I would not play VIX. Maybe we need a spike up. You need to cool off VIX a little bit because VIX is about 31, if I remember. Oh, it's no longer about 31. Wow, they dropped it fast. It won't give you volume profile here, but I would think somewhere around here, once you break this area here, 30, it's going to pump again and we short the market. AMD, so AMD broke the 69.90 level, and then it bounced right here, so as a bear flag. The low of day it breaks, this is going back to $60 right here, $60 to $58. This is where AMD is headed. And I've added shares of 67, I added shares of 78, now I will add shares of 58. If you're looking to short AMD, like for tomorrow, I would probably wait for this low of the day to break. Just knowing how AMD kind of moves, I would wait for that on a retest. I would not go on a dump here. I would wait for it to come back, and then I would take this. Probably play like November or something. But we are due for a little bounce, just so you guys know. Sorry, I messed up this arrow here. Disney, let's look at this. Disney, I think, had a shelf at 90, if I remember, 98. Okay, so there's this right here. So 92.48 would be a decent bounce on Disney right now. I would not play much. You could play a rejection off of this level here, which is 116. And then if by some miracle Disney runs up, this is an easy short at 117. Super easy short here. Let me see what the sellers say. Yeah, I doubt it. We go back anytime soon to this level, so you can forget about this. I don't think we'll be touching 177 on Disney. Unless they spin off ESPN, then people will be interested. I'll be interested too. Apple. Cool. Pretty candle. Apple. Yep. You know, Apple broke this level here on the value area high. The buyers will be around 136. So I would expect if it goes up to 153.17, this area here will be a nice short if we decide to run. And then here you have a nice double bottom as well. So below 148.37, you have a nice shelf here building up. I would be cautious and think easy short on Apple is somewhere here, you know, from the volume perspective. You want to be below 145 and then you really catch acceleration to 136. Here you get a lot of chop because you have a lot of volume here. There's going to be some hand exchange in here. So would I take this trade here? Probably not. On this, would I take a rejection to 153? Probably yes. Yep. I would take that rejection anytime. Yeah, and it has a value area low here on the run up to 151. That's probably a rejection waiting to happen. So these would be the levels I look for shorting, and I'll play November contract on this. If I was to play it, it needs to run up a little bit. And if we get this, this would be beautiful. This is the best entry for short, 156, if they're able to run this up. I'm expecting we're going to open green on futures tomorrow. Pretty wild, but I do expect it's going to happen.
Can you please take a look at the Roku?
Shorty, can you look at Oxy when you're done?
Yeah, I probably looked at Oxy, did we not? Yeah, we did. So 56.73 will be a nice buy. You have structure low at 58.04. If that breaks, you're going 56.73. You have a nice little gap here. I don't know how the crude is doing right now. I think we're headed. We need to go to 72, if I remember, on crude, in order for Oxy to be at the level where I'm looking to buy it. Yeah, so this would be the level I'm interested in. So when crude hits 71, 72, that's when I'll be interested in Oxy. We're very close to it. So $7 away. Once we come here, this is going to be beautiful for long Oxy, which would be probably roughly, if I was to think. So let me go on. I'll think about these imbalances that they had. You have 43, and they're going to protect this area really nicely here. So around 53.18 is going to be a nice area for a buy on Oxy. We're not far from it, about $5, so it's going to require some patience. So you guys said somebody threw one out, Roku. I'm not interested in this stock at all. I think their model is done, but that's just me. So you have, does anyone recall what I told you where Roku was going to go when I believe Big Bull said it's going to go to 120? I said it was going to go to $40. Does anyone recall that?
Yep.
Guys, it's definitely headed to $40. Like, it has no business being here. This is going to be a penny stock in no time. So you have this level here that, you know, $41 is my target on it. So 41.97, I would expect them to come here. The next bounce is going to happen is right here on Roku. Hopefully you didn't buy it anywhere up top, because this stock lost 90% of its value. Yep, 90% gone. Only 10% left of the company here. Yep, so we covered Apple. Let's look at PayPal. PayPal was the first one to take a beating out of all of these boys. Oh my God. I mean, it's in a nice zone when you think about it from an accumulation standpoint. This is in a nice zone right here. And you guys see here, from here, they brought it back. Now here, I would think they're going to bring it back with the market one more time. Not a bad company, but you know, they have a lot of stuff going for it as well. There's a rejection. So most likely it's headed to about $75 here. If I was to put my coin somewhere. So it lost this gap here. So the next shelf, there it goes. That's very balanced. Is there. So once it loses, you know, I would not trade it until it loses this right here. Once it loses 84.74, you can catch it all the way to 82. And then obviously once you lose that, you're going to be a little bit of support here, 81.34. And this would be the next level for a bounce here, 76. So I would expect once you lose this little shelf here, 84, you're going to go to This level here, 81.4, call it on a good day, 81.6. Once you get inside of that area, I mean, high chance you're going to also visit the bottom here. I would say once you get in 81.65, you're ahead at 71. You have $10 drop waiting on that guy. I'm not interested in PayPal shares yet. I want it a little bit cheaper than this. They also need to fix their business model, define it a little bit.
I was gonna say, don't you think it's done after losing eBay?
Yeah, I mean, eBay's split off. I just think they have to fix the model. It's not clear what they are, right? To me, it's not. I don't know what they are right now.
Sorry, could you check SMH?
It's semiconductor ETF.
Yeah, I was just wondering like when I could add for long term.
Is this leveraged?
No, it's not levered.
Not ready yet. I'm gonna slice through here. Man, ton of volume on this. It's not ready yet. If I was gonna buy it, it'll be here. You're talking shares, right?
Yeah, shares.
Yeah, I would. For me, my first entry. I got you, Ricky. I'll do the cap next. I would do 172 on shares, and I would not hold long term from this level. I would look to get it back up to like 200. So about, I don't know, maybe 15, 12%, then I would sell it. Eventually, we're gonna go here. Could be this year. Majority of my orders would be sitting here if I was to buy this. Who's the Vanguard?
Yeah, it's about 6,000 million AUM, I guess.
Yeah, I would look. If we break this value area high here, I'll be excited buying at 130. This would be my level on it.
Thanks.
A good entry here. Cat just broke really nice the main area here, so it has this shelf as the last resort. I did add some shares on this one as well, and if you look at this, also has a POC around 114. And when I add shares here, I'm not adding obviously full positions. I add piece by piece, right? So AMD, I started buying $1,000 shares lots. So I'll buy that, and if AMD hits my 58 target, 50, I will increase that 1,000. Then my average comes down a little bit. At the same time, I'm selling some calls. I'll sell some puts, so it kind of brings my average down as well. So on CAT, this is pretty good stock. 141 will be important. And Ricky, are you asking shares or are you asking intraday trading? Shares. So I did start here scaling in on CAT. I would look to add 155, 141, and then I would, if it dips to 115, I would buy a little bit more. If you're really risk averse, then see if it breaks this 155. Then you should be smiling sometimes when it comes to this range here. Probably around here would be all smiles at 115. I'd be excited. I think at some point, and this is just me speculating right now in the market and politics a little bit. At some point, I think Joe's going to go back to that infrastructure bill because I don't know what I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying I don't know what the Democrats have left in their tank for gaining votes. It's going to have to be some kind of jobs, right? Because if you think about the cycle, the jobs are going to go where right now? They're going to go away. They're going to increase, unemployment. Once you increase unemployment, what's Joe going to preach, and Democrats on fixing? Oh, we can fix the unemployment. Then they're going to say, okay, we're going to fix the unemployment, right? So how do you fix unemployment? Oh, here's another spending bill of $2 billion or $1 trillion for infrastructure. Then you look at companies like Cat, X. I'm also watching this for shares. Look at this, guys. We wrote this short 3-4 weeks out. 35.82. It dropped. We lost more than half of that percent here from this drop. So let's see. And I can't look at this one because this one grabs this piece here. It's going to skew my data. So this is the value area low. This is probably where it's going to bounce, and I might be interested in this in shares here. I might be interested here, guys, on these shares on X. Let me just take a note. I like this one. Yeah, I like this one here. No, this is pretty. Makar, if you want to, or somebody, Karthik, if you want to remind us on this tomorrow, this is really good, guys. I'm interested in this for shares. This is pretty here. Between 18 and 15, 8. Looks good. And I had this company at like $3. Yeah. Wow. So this is the level they're going to defend. 1622, if they dropped it all the way here where they accumulated most. Look how quickly they accumulated this. This is weeks. Look at the accumulation. I guess 217 days, and so they grabbed it an average, let's call it 7, and then they were able to run it all the way to 40. All right, let's see what else we got. What's the symbol for copper? Let's see. Any tickers?
I'm not sure. There's some ETFs, but I can look into it.
Yeah. I'm sure Flip knows. If you ping him, he sleeps with this stuff.
You can look at FCX.
FCX?
Yeah, FCX. They do copper.
Oh, FCX.
F as in Frank. FCX.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay. This guy. Oh, they have a nice distribution here. My God, all of these raw materials. Yeah, they already bounced here. I think they're going to slice through this. Yeah, they're going to slice through this value area high, and then we're going to be looking at $8. Is this medical company?
No. Software.
Yeah, it's just in a tight range. Never traded it, but I hear about it all the time.
Yeah, everybody loves it because the fucking CEO just keeps buying shares like nonstop. I don't know.
Is it like
All
a
you
project
hear about.
management company or what?
Yeah, it's
I mean, it just seems to be a pump and dump. Like, I mean, that's pretty big swings, man. From 17 to top of the range, it's almost like double, and then it dumps, and it's probably headed to $19 right now. I don't know if you want me. What do you want me to? Are you looking at shares, Knight Rider, or? Yeah, I wouldn't touch it yet on shares. If it's shares, I would look for it at 16. Just don't know what to tell you about it because technically here it's in the range. So it needs to break this for any movements up. Otherwise, just play the top and the bottom of this range. And you can, I'm sure, find another range inside. Well, maybe not. It's just fucking volatile. As soon as it touches the bottom, it goes up. So yeah, I'll look for the bottom here of the value area low at 18.7, 16 for shares. Drew, you want me to look at Microsoft, you said?
Yeah, please. Microsoft, and if you don't mind, DX to buy shares, dividend stock.
Yeah. None of this is advice, guys, just whoever's on. This is just me, what I would do. And this does not mean that I'm suggesting that somebody buys or sells whatever. That's pretty much your responsibility. I'm just giving you my educational side here. So it looks like, you know, from Microsoft POC, I think they're going to be coming back for this guy very shortly here. We're not too far here. Once we lose this shelf here, let me see. Come on. Once we lose this shelf, you know, this is what I would do. I would probably wait for this to buy shares because we're already inside the value area here of this buying spree. So I would look to add some here. Actually, not a bad idea to add some here on Microsoft. DX. Whew. Man, they're offloading this guy. Looks like they got news coming. Oh yeah, this can go as low as it wants to go. This can go to $7. I mean, the last, you know, save me is kind of like right here at 1266. Once you lose that, good night. Yeah, this level, maybe I missed it a little bit. Right there, 11. I don't know much about the company, but it looks like it's on a pretty big downtrend. Oh yeah, so it went from $210 to 12. Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty shitty company from technicals.
Check out Zoom when you get a chance. How do you think that would do with everything like possibly getting shitty in the future? Think you have a chance for another run?
I don't think so, honestly.
Okay.
I think
I was just thinking about that. It just dawned on me just now. I was like, all these things I'm looking at. What else could we?
No, I think Google and all these big boys, you know, Zoom, you know, they kind of hit the honeypot when the COVID happened because they already had the technology and it was available. You know, they didn't have to develop and deploy and test with users. They're ready to go. You know, Google had to do some development, you know, for schools. I know Google's being heavily used, at least in Georgia, for schooling. So they accommodated quickly from U.S. companies because, you know, Chinese companies, even through TikTok, are gathering all the data. Imagine how much data they have, how much currency, I'm sorry, not currency, that tweet just threw me off. Man, that really threw me off. Oh my God. GPP futures, like, the British futures are halted.
Wow.
Why could that be?
Oh my God.
Facility.
Oh. Whoa. Oh my God. This is right now. So remember, they announced they're gonna be doing some. I told you guys about this on Thursday. Do you guys remember? Last Thursday, I told you Japan, yen, and the pound was gonna be looking a little roughish, and here it goes. And now the XY should be looking to go all-time highs. And there it goes. So if you look at this on 3 months, I would not be shocked if we break this level right now, which would be your, what is this, 2001 highs right here. If you have money and you want to buy some land in some other countries, this is your time.
We have cheap lands in Ghana.
There goes you buying land in Africa. Wow. This is fucking insane. Dollar stronger. Oh my god. Yeah, this is gonna be a shit show here tomorrow. ES, is it tumbling down? No, needs to. Nope, they bounced. Wow, we got like what? Holy shit, that was like a 12 points bounce off of this value area low.
Yeah, I played MES long on that.
Smart. Yeah. Oh, I mean, honestly, if you get a trade like this, like you get an entry here, dude, just put a stop loss literally $2 below. Go like, I would go 20 lots on ES, go 20 lots on ES, and dude, you could have printed on this. Yeah, that would have been nice. Man, there's a lot of news going on. Oh my god. Like for a brain to fucking figure all this shit out. This is wild. Oh yeah. Is that what we want? 36.95 now. We gotta break this. We gotta break this to get into the range here, and then, man, I hope we break 37.16. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty wild tomorrow. China State Bank ordered to buy stocks contain selling. Oh my god. Oh, this is gonna be fun, guys. Whew. Yeah, I expect us to dump here soon on ES. China's doing quantitative easing, huh? Yeah, that's QE. They're buying it. We're gonna dump
So
here,
despite
guys.
everything that's happening, you're still expecting the futures to open green?
Well, I'm sorry, but not after you tell me that China is ordered to buy stocks, not after you tell me the currency GPB just is halted. And then you add 20% forward risk on currency swaps. Yeah, I was not aware of all those news coming in. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to play the levels here. If there was not much news, they probably had some reasons to pump it, but let's see. They might kill all the technical signs tomorrow. All right. Now, what else do you guys have? I think that'll be it from my side for tonight. So
Will
for
you post the
people,
charts?
yeah, of course, I'll post the ES and Qs along with the plan for those and what we plan on doing. For people on YouTube, if you guys are interested, we will have only 25 spots open for the month. We had 50 that filled up last month. We allowed 54 people to join. We'll have 25 approximately for that. So if you're interested in joining, just visit my Twitter or reach out to Catching Rockets and he can help you with that.
Yeah, the link's also in the description of the video if anybody's interested in the Discord. But yeah, those 25 spots will probably fill up pretty quick, so don't sleep.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be live and we'll see how we do. But it's going to be a rough week with all the news coming out. So it's going to be a lot of reversals, to say the least.
Oh, thanks,
Thank you.
Shorty.
Shorty.
And then
Hey, Shorty, good night. Appreciate
Good
it.
night, buddy.
I
Bye.
forget who I was talking to, but whoever wanted to go over the how to find the orders, I can cover that really quick.
Yeah,
That was
it's me. It was me.
If I can, my mouse is not working. I can't click and drag. So nice. I need to go buy a new mouse right now. But so basically, you know, on your charts, you open the edit grid settings, and right here, times and sales will show you orders. You can also do level 2, which will show you orders at price. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're on the flexible grid, just in case, I mean, I'm sure you probably know this, but you just click on the this grid icon, customize grid, and then you would turn on the sidebar and do TS, which is times and sales. Okay.
Thank you, bro. Good night.
Yeah, no problem. Later, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. All right, everybody on YouTube, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. See y'all later. Bye.